Yeah, man. It's your boy OG Cook here with More Music Podcast. We at Transfer Food Hall. I'm sitting here today with Night Wonder of the world. What's going on, man?
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. So, you talked about it before, but talk about, this event tonight, how much it means to you, to perform in your hometown.
It means a lot, man. I mean, the Raleigh local scene and the Raleigh, music scene has always been there. But, over the years, we lost a lot of our venues, the brewery, Berkeley Cafe, a lot of venues that we had that would be like proving grounds or like rites of passages for us kind of went away. So this is a venue that's new, and it's good to see young artists still going through this rite of passage type thing, man. And yeah, man, I would never get bigger than not being able to do shows in my home place,
Yeah, I like that. So just talk about Swank King Draft.
Yeah.
There's some young cats coming up, and Swank is from 2-5.
Yes,
from
he is.
Okay. Just talk about how much they mean to as young artists, because I mean you started off young, so just talk about how you're helping them the same way you did that.
I mean, to be honest, man, I got my first check, my first big check when I was 28. So I didn't, when I was 22, 23, 24, I was in school like everybody else.
Yeah.
And it's funny because when I started teaching in North Carolina Central, and when I started back teaching in 2014, because I was there before, Draft was in my class.
Okay.
Swank sat in my class for 2 semesters, not enrolled, and just sat in there.
Wow.
And then he finally enrolled and took my class, but they were not supposed to be a group. Draft wanted to, he's from Plainfield, New Jersey. He didn't want to go back home. So he stayed and he worked and got better. He would do raps and we'd be like, nah, that ain't it. He finally got his own, and then next thing you know, Swank would come in the studio because Swank was shooting videos for us or whatnot. And when he did that, they did a song one night together, and I wasn't at the studio, and I heard it. I was like, "Hey, y'all a group, dog. Y'all don't think y'all know that?"
Nah, that's real.
Because Swank has a higher pitched voice and Draft has a lower voice, and I was like, man, it's something that the game is missing right now. It's rap groups. Like,
Facts.
It's not a rap group.
Facts.
I mean, young rap groups. There are rap groups that exist, of course, but young, like in their 20s, it's not a lot. And not to say that there isn't any, but it's not a lot. So we started doing music, and now they're on this kind of their own wave now, and I love it, man. I think they're dope, and I think the wave that they're on now is much needed.
Yeah, so. I agree, man. They got it for real. They got the sauce.
Yeah.
I've always called you the godfather of homemade samples before Lil Wayne. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Let's talk about God Stepson. What inspired you to make that, man?
It's just, at that time I was remixing a bunch of songs anyway. The guy by the name of Bum Rush, he used to be a promoter around here. He brought me the acapellas and just came to my door and just here and left. And I was like, all right. And so I just remixed it. And I never thought it would go as big as it did. I just did it because I wanted to hear Nas over something else.
Right.
And so I remixed it, and next thing you know, a year goes by, I'm in Japan, and 200 Japanese kids is holding up the cover. And I'm like, yo, bro. And this is before Instagram and going viral, and you know what I mean, that whatever that was at the time, it was that, and how music was traveling without all the things we have now, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Music was still traveling crazy, but it just kind of went on its own, man. And I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah, and just follow up, like you put some emphasis on Instagram and going viral and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Do you think that waters music down?
I think everything you need. It's definitely a vital piece to make music go. Instagram and TikTok was a beautiful way to kind of cut out the middleman. Some people, whether they be comedians, public figures, influencers, they're cutting out the middleman and they're making millions.
Right. Yeah.
Just being consistent on Instagram or TikTok, and that's a beautiful thing. The flip side of that is like, what happens when everybody's doing the same thing and there's no barometer, there's no standard. Mm-hmm. What's good and what's like, there's no thing to say what's good and what's not. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. But either way, I'm cool with it. I use Instagram like I'm supposed to. Mm-hmm. We definitely used during the pandemic to DJ, and I don't think Instagram expected that, but
Yeah,
we did it.
right.
But that's the hip hop way. We do things.
Find a way.
We find a way out of no way, and I think with Instagram and TikTok and Twitter, I don't think they expected the things that have happened over the last 10 years to happen with those mediums.
That's real. Yeah. So as far as DJing goes and producing goes and engineering goes, what's your favorite all-time beat that you made? Because mine is Threat by Jay-Z. It's my favorite all-time beat. That's a tough beat.
It's a tough beat, man. To pick a beat that I've done and I'm like, that's my favorite. I know some of my favorite songs. Probably, it's funny, somebody just asked me that question. They asked me what they feel like, what do I feel like the most impactful record I ever produced? And that for me is Destiny Child's Girl. And Girl is a record that I did. That was my first single. It had a video to it. I never thought that I'd be producing for, at the time, the #1 girl pop group in the world. And it was a hit record, man. And I never thought it would be that. A quote-unquote underground boom bap producer would be making beats for it, Beyonce, and I kind of broke the mold with that one, and I think that's my most impactful. That one and Duckworth, and Threat, Duckworth, and Girl is my.
Look, Threat got to be in the list, man, because I love that thing.
Yeah, it changed a lot. It changed the game for me.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Well, hey, Ninth Wonder, I appreciate you, man.
No doubt, brother.
Love, always love. You stay connected, man.
Absolutely,
This
man.
not gonna be the last time we talk.
Oh, you got a future in this. You got a future in this right here, bro.
That.
No doubt.
Appreciate that.
Yes, future. Oh, here you go, boy.